Welcome back to CP24. Let's go one last time to the TSX Broadcast Center. Roman Bodnarchuk is the CEO and chairman of N5R Realty Advisors. And you know, this is one of the hottest topics we have, and that's real estate. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to see you, Ann. Thank you.
I read something today that Canadians are spending more on housing than they ever have, and that trend is expected to change, ease a little by next year. But people are spending greater than, I believe, 30% of their take-home pay on their housing, and mostly in the West. No kidding. What do you know about this?
It's amazing, and the stat that I read is specifically was regarding Toronto and how high the rents are versus what they're bringing home every month. So it really is extraordinary how much housing costs today versus even 5 years ago. You
know, I remember when I was a little bit younger, the rule of thumb was a quarter of your salary, and that was net salary, I believe, not gross, but 25%, not 30, not 35. I don't know where people are finding the money and how they're able to, you know, continue to do other things that they need to do.
It's amazing, and if you think about real estate over the last 5 or 10 years, a lot of the prices that you saw 5 years ago, or in some cases 10 years, have all doubled. So it's very expensive, and rents have jumped quite a bit. So affordability is a major issue, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of first-time home buyers. The only affordable housing in cities like Toronto are these high-rise condos, for example.
Well, let's talk about that. You know, baby boomers are buying condos as a second home or investment. So it's not the first-time buyer necessarily, because baby boomers, I guess they're between, what, 45 and 65, somewhere in there, and often this is their second or third go-around when it comes to purchasing.
You know, and baby boomers are just a huge demographic. You've got
9 million of us.
You know, there's just it's enormous, and you've got somebody turning 60 every 7 seconds, and a lot of people in that age category, and you know, I'm very familiar with people my parents' age. They've had enough of you know, dealing with the garden and shoveling the snow and all the rest of it. So they're really looking for an easier lifestyle. And condominiums offer a tremendous alternative. You know, especially for a second home, when you really don't want to worry about that second home or that vacation property. Condominiums have that beautiful lifestyle. They can lock the door, and they have nothing to worry about.
It's interesting, you know, you might talk to builders here in the city of Toronto, and you have to wonder, when I look around at what's out there, when you talk about the retiring baby boomers who are going downsizing from the big place to the smaller place, it's not really reflected in the marketplace right now. The rooms are small. What's called a den is often just an alcove. There's not enough closet space. I love that split plan where there's a bathroom and ensuite on one, or a bedroom and ensuite on one side, bedroom ensuite on the other. You just don't see that anymore.
It's interesting, and you know, I just spent the last couple days in Toronto talking to condo developers, and what they're finding is the small units are being snapped up by the first-time homebuyers. You know, those very small 600, 700 square foot floor plans are smaller. But they are accommodating the 2 or 3 bedrooms. They do have some larger, obviously at a much higher price point. But what we're finding, for example, downtown Toronto, is we've really got 2 very distinct buyers. You've got the first-time buyer moving in that tiny you know, unit that you just described. But then you're seeing some larger suites, which are much more expensive, and you're seeing kind of a move-up buyer, a move-down buyer, these empty nesters, and they are definitely looking for the square footage. And you're right, it's tough to find in some of these downtown high-rises.
And you pay a premium for that. Quick question, because we just have a little bit of time. Is it the right time to invest in the U.S. marketplace? You know, we keep hearing about their slowing housing market and a slowing economy. Is this the right time?
And this is the perfect time. Canadians can take some of the equity they've built over the last 5 or 10 years in Canada, and they could really take advantage of our high Canadian dollar, the low U.S. dollar. You're buying things that are 5 or 10% discount right now in the U.S. We think it's an incredible opportunity.
Smart to buy resale, or would you buy off plans and wonder what's going to happen in 2 years when the project is completed?
I think both are very interesting. I would like to, you know, personally, I like to invest in properties that I can rent today, have positive cash flow. So I like to buy things that I can buy today and rent right away.
Great. All right. Well, more coming up in a little over 10 minutes at the top of the hour on Hot Property. Thanks a lot. Great to see you.
Thank you, Ann.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
More still to come on CP24. Stay with us.